living room because I want to jump into Silk Song like right after this.
Sure. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Game Trader Live. We're going to be breaking down the GameStop earnings results as the news breaks. I'm Asif Khan, CEO, Editor in Chief, EIEIO, which stands for Extremely Intelligent Extreme Intelligence Officer. It's not a made up term, it's actually designed to increase our valuation here at Shack News, and it's doing it right now. You don't see it because we don't have a stock, but GameStop does. So we're going to look at some charts before the earnings come out, and then when the earnings release, we will talk about the earnings. You might hear me talking with some of my staff as we break down the news, figure out what we want to write about. But yeah, welcome. Wait, there we go. Nope, there we go. Yep, there we go.
Just
Sweet.
to let you know, you're coming in clean on the stream too.
Sweet. I was struggling with what scene I was supposed to be on, but other than that, yeah, I think we're looking good. Yeah, so we have 14 minutes till the close of the stock market right now. So, we can see what's going on here. I guess before the market closes, let's take a look at the stock chart, see if there's anything worth mentioning. You had an outside week last week. We're trading inside of that range. If you look at it, it's kind of been ever since that the last earnings results and the secondary offering, stock's kind of been stuck in the mud. I wonder why. If your CEO is a serial diluter of your shares, maybe that has something to do with this. But yeah, stock's sitting around $23.44 right now, inside the previous week's range, but we're going to look for a breakout above 23.73 if you want to see some momentum to the upside, and a break down below 22.18 if you want to see the stock go lower. I doubt many people tuning into this video, either live or on VOD, are going to be hoping that it goes lower. But, there's some shorts out there still. On the monthly chart, you had an inside month in July, followed by a slight rev strat back into the previous range. And now we're trading above it. So you actually have a rev strat month to the upside right now. That's active above 23.21, which was the high of August. Stock really hasn't done a lot, like I mentioned, but there is a chance that we get some good news here. It's trading inside quarter, but the quarter's not over, obviously. And it's trading inside year. It had quite a volatile year in 2024 with the return of the Roaring Kitty and the disappearance of the Roaring Kitty. The stock traded in a range of $9.95 to $64.83 a share, TJ. That's pretty wide range. And we're sitting here now with the high of the year at $35.81 and a low of the year at $20.73. Stock is currently around $23.40. So yeah, that's your look at the longer term charts. On the day, it was a 2 up, but it kind of reverted back into it. It's been a chop shop here, basically since the last earnings report. So what are the expectations? Great question. I'm glad you asked, Asif. The expectations for GameStop this quarter, analyst consensus is 19 cents per share of earnings, revenue of $900 million. So that is a profitable quarter that is expected. The whisper number is of 26 cents per share. So people are actually expecting an upside surprise to this stock. It's important to note that this is a quarter that includes the Nintendo Switch 2 launch. So we might see a increase in the year-over-year hardware revenue numbers for the first time in a while, probably since 2020 or 2021. So that could be a tailwind. Obviously, they did also invest in cryptocurrency in the last quarter, buying, I think it was, $500 million worth of Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I think, has appreciated in that time. So they may have a adjustment to their investment in that. I'm not entirely sure where they bought it, but it's probably below where it's currently trading. So they may have like an adjustment to their non operating cash flow. We'll keep an eye on what exactly they did with their cash. It's important to note they have a lot of cash on hand, somewhere around $7 billion, and they have a market cap around $10 billion. So without a whole lot of debt, they are adding convertible. They did add convertible debt recently to the balance sheet, but without a tremendous amount of debt, they do have a lot of cash on hand, which is why I think the stock has found a bit of footing down here in the that $22 to $23 per share range. It actually has a PE ratio now, trading at 50 times trailing earnings. So yeah, it's a much different company than it was 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 6 years ago. Obviously, the short squeeze that happened in 2021 created an opportunity for them to kind of rejigger their balance sheet. When the stock shot all the way up to 120.75 split adjusted, and then it's kind of been all over the place since. We actually haven't broken out of that range of the 2021 short squeeze in GameStop. Like I said, they got the tailwinds at this company are the collectible business with their card efforts. They're selling Pokemon cards and all that stuff, and then on the other front, seeing a tailwind from the Nintendo Switch 2 launching during this quarter. So we'll see how they did on the hardware sales. Were they able to sell some more software with the hardware? Those are the things that we're going to be watching. Obviously, we pay attention to the directly registered shares, not because we care, but because it seems like GameStop investors still care about that. So we will be keeping our eye out for the 10Q or the 8K when that drops. Yeah, people are definitely going to be showing up here as the earnings drop. There is no conference call, and GameStop fanboys are already upset that I am talking smack about their beloved leader. But they don't do a conference call. That's not transparent. Yeah, I was writing an article before that we went live here, TJ. Because the Apple event. Uh, you know,
Right.
I
Yeah.
didn't get it finished yet, but I don't know. I'll try to knock that out over here. Hopefully, this isn't too long of a stream. But yeah, I have some thoughts for Tim Cook. That was a whack ass presentation. Like, I think we're getting to the point where some of these Apple presentations could have been an email. So
Yeah. Like they spend so long talking about things that some of that stuff matters. The health stuff matters, but I I don't really care that much that Apple has put 348 megapixel cameras in its phone because that seems a bit much.
no, it's fine. Like all that stuff's fine, but none of it's holy crap. Let's fly people out to Cupertino to see this. I get there is a hands-on event that occurs after that, and that's cool. But
Is it fine though? Did you see the back of that phone?
no, it's hideous. Oh,
It's horrible.
I'm not saying I'm saying that the event exists is fine, not the
Oh yeah.
products. It really feels like iPhone peaked quite some time ago, and it's just they're kind of coasting on people being stuck in their ecosystem more than anything.
Mhm.
I have the 1 minute chart up, so we'll probably be able to see the stock react when the numbers come out. And I will have. I'm going to pull up the investor relations page so we can dig in when we get the news. The things to watch would be what have they done with their cash? How is the collectibles business doing? Because that seems to be their focus these days. It looks like people are buying it into the close here. Let's see how many shares traded today. 8.7 million. That's not a whole lot. The most that we've seen trade this year was earlier this year in June when they announced that dilution. and it was 171 million shares.
Yeah.
So 8.7 is not a whole lot. Trying to look back. Yeah, and the other time was I think this was also earnings. So we're seeing the stock dump on earnings. I'm not saying it's going to happen here because I do think there's some tailwinds this quarter. But yeah, just something to, frame of reference to give people that 8.7 million shares is not a whole lot. Obviously, that's not what's being traded in the dark pools or anything. That's just what's being traded publicly. So I will be F5ing a website to make sure I can get you guys the news when it drops. But yeah, I thought the Apple event was pretty underwhelming. Yeah, the new iPhone was iPhone Air. That they're just making it thinner is like, okay. I don't know. Maybe we'll get some reports from people who have hands on with it, and they're like, "Oh my god, this feels amazing in my hands." Like, if that's the case, cool. But it's still not like the high end phone that they make. The iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max are like the best specs. So it just feels kind of weird that they're making like another phone like in between the iPhone and the Pro.
Yeah, the what was it, the iPhone Air?
Yeah,
I didn't realize that they didn't have an iPhone Air yet. Was it just the iPhone Lite before, or what
it
was
was the
this?
SE.
Okay.
But like the SE, the problem with the SE, I don't know what to call it a problem, but like the SE was like the oldest hardware.
Hmm.
So this reminds me more of the MacBook Air, where it's like it's a new product. Like I'll give them that. Like it is a new product, but it's not a new product category. Um, it's kind of like the iPad Air, where like the iPad Air
Yeah.
is not better than the iPad Pro, but it's better than the iPad, right? So it's like
Oh, okay.
I think that's kind of where we're seeing this. It's like the MacBook Air is not. They kind of got rid of the MacBook. There's just MacBook Air and MacBook Pro now. But like for a while they did have a MacBook, and the Air was like kind of the same but thinner. It's weird. The iPhone 17 Air is definitely better than the iPhone. It costs more too, though. So yeah,
For some reason, I kept thinking that the airline was like a light line of whatever product it is.
yeah, it's confusing because now you have the iPhone 17, and that's the base model. And you have the iPhone Air 17 Air, that's above it, and then the iPhone Pro and Pro Max, and then they're still selling the 16. I think they're calling it the 16E, which is like last year's phone, but with an E attached to it. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what the E does.
I think it just means it's basic. It's the cheapest one. But yeah, they need to do something else, man. I just think it's weird that they're like inviting people to come to Steve Jobs Theater to like sit in the theater and watch the same video that you and I watched.
Yeah,
Like, what's the point of that? How is that cool?
I've been to. I mean, the only thing I can compare that to for myself is like at Tokyo Game Show when we looked at a Silent Hill 2 remake last year. That wasn't hands on at all. They literally just marched us into into a small theater and
Yeah,
played a trailer for us. But
sure.
to their credit, they also had like a big gate set up on the side, and they had a cosplayer dressed up as Pyramid Head.
That's
But I doubt they
different.
had it.
That's
I doubt they
like
had a gate at Steve Jobs Theater with Pyramid Head.
no, and like that's different, TJ, because that's like a guided walkthrough of a game,
Yeah,
and that's something that like it was exclusive to there, right? Like this video, you and I were just sitting at our computers watching the same video that all these journalists were watching in Cupertino, and we
mm-hmm.
didn't have to stay at some shitty hotel in Silicon Valley. Because let me tell you,
Yeah.
man, Silicon Valley has some shit hotels. Yeah, there's a Four Seasons, but Cupertino, the Cupertino Inn. Look, I've stayed at the Cupertino Inn several times. It's fine, but it is like Silicon Valley in general is kind of a dump in my opinion. Okay, well it's 4 o'clock. The market is closed. Let's see if the numbers are out yet. I am refreshing. I'm fervently refreshing. No more bets, right? Like the roulette table. No more degenerate options trading allowed. Let's see who's talking about GME. A bunch of believers over here. I can't shake the feeling that Ryan Cohen is loading up GME cash reserves into Ethereum. That they would have to disclose that. People are praying for the God candle. Someone said GameStop earnings at close. Call your mom. Oh, we got more people joining us. Hey there.
Hey.
Live on the internet.
Yeah, you are live on stream with me, Bill. So
I'm buying watches.
Watches? Apple Watch?
Yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah, I'll probably.
Apple Watch I have.
I'm not in any rush. I'll wait. Like I said, I have some trees that I need to remove. That I will prioritize my money for before I buy an Apple Watch. But I do need an Apple Watch. My old one stopped working. The battery finally ran out.
I can get for mine.
Okay, so the market we're officially in after hours time. You got a big old outside 1 bar there, so we'll see what happens. I am refreshing the website. Announces release date. Yeah. Still no earnings results for GameStop. I'm going to be checking out Twitter to see what the AI spam bots are saying about GameStop. My prediction for earnings. Oh wow, these people are they're really optimistic. Oh, it looks like we got numbers. The stock is acting like we do. Stock is acting like we do. I don't see the numbers yet, but the stock did jump there. It's moving. Looks like the numbers are out. It looks like, yep, they are out. Here we go. The website is crashing. So the numbers are out. I can't get this page to load, folks.
It's quite a jump.
I am going to keep refreshing here until I can actually get the website to load. That's hilarious. And this isn't like the most fancy website. It's literally just text. But yeah, the stock is reacting positively. If you believe what I'm reading on Twitter, it looks like they did beat the revenue number. Still waiting for confirmation of... Whoa, that's a big-ass red candle that just happened. What's that all about?
Oh.
Let's see, SEC filings.
Those poor gains wiped off the table in one fell swoop.
That's like 1 minute there, TJ. That's pretty wild, right? I'm still looking. I'll let you folks know if I can get this page to load. I got the page to load. I got it to load, folks.
That was good news for 1 minute.
I got the page to load. There you go. So yeah, here we go. GameStop had revenue of $972.2 billion. That beats expectations of $900 billion. So that's a beat. Operating income, 66.4. Net income of 168.8. Excluding impairment, unrealized gain on digital assets. Net income was $138.3 million. Cash and equivalent marketable securities was $8.7 billion at the close of the second quarter compared to $4.2 billion. But that fact that you have to include that they diluted their shareholders last quarter. And Bitcoin holdings were valued at... Okay, so we have a couple of stories here. I would say let's break out the Bitcoin story, guys. Okay. And then, let's see, GameStop. Yeah. Let me see if... I gotta find this EPS number, TJ. It looks like an EPS beat. But a miss of the Whisper number.
Yeah, based on what you said, it seemed like I should leave EPS off the headline unless it was.
Let's I just want to make sure we can find the EPS number before we report it. Net sales were up in hardware. We're down in software, and we're up materially in collectibles. So that is kind of what I was talking about. That's interesting. What's the EPS number? Where the hell is it? So 25 cents is what I'm seeing. I just want to make sure that's right. Let's go back to the stock chart. It is digesting that big ass move it had in after hours. Special dividend announced. Where's that? People just making shit up? I don't see anything about a dividend. Stop calling me, folks. That must be in their SEC filing. Which I don't see yet. There it is. Dividends of warrants to shareholders. We'll see 1 warrant for every 10 shares of GameStop held. Okay, so we do have a dividend. Interesting. Okay. So we have a few stories here. I would say it's safe to say, TJ, that they beat revenue and EPS expectations, and you can just mention that they missed the whisper number.
Okay.
Announces to be distributed. Okay, so this is another headline. It looks like we got several headlines here, guys. I think the dividend is definitely worth breaking out. I think the earnings beat is obviously a story. And then I think the Bitcoin holdings is a story. How is this stock doing? It's going down again. Each warrant will entitle the holder to purchase 1 share of common stock at an exercise price of 32. at any time following the distribution date until the warrants expire. So you're already underwater on these warrants. That's kind of shit. Why would I want to? I can just buy the shares right now.
Are they offering for you to buy debt?
No, they're offering me to buy shares for more than they're trading for.
Like, yeah, that makes no sense.
That's weird. I'm not sure I like that. Each warrant will entitle the holder to purchase one share of common stock at an exercise price of $32 at any time following the distribution date until the warrants expire on October 30th, 2026. So that's between now and the end of October next year. You can buy this stock for $32. Or you could buy it in after hours for $23.86 right now.
That's what I'm saying. Why the hell would I buy something for more than the price of the thing?
To drive the price up, I guess? I don't know. Or to give them more money? I don't get this. That's kind of weird. Maybe that's why the stock's reacting as it is.
Like Russian Matryoshka doll stock buying.
I mean, that's
What's the
kind of...
info for this special dividend story?
You need, like, the source?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get that for you right now.
I'm going in totally blind besides the headline.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If you're on the stream, you can see it on screen. But yeah, here I see your hockey stick. That's the article there, Bill. I would just quote this whole thing, like not the cautionary statements, but this whole what I'm highlighting here, Bill. Just copy paste that, throw that in the article, because it is word salad to most people.
Sorry.
If exercised, the warrants are expected to generate up to approximately $1.9 billion. This is just another opportunity to give GameStop your money. That's insane.
A commercial, so I don't have a.
Oh, here, I'm just gonna copy it for you.
Okay.
That's insane. I don't understand why. Why would you do this? This is why this company should have a fucking conference call. You know?
So somebody could ask them why.
Just why? Why are you doing this? Okay, the one of the board members is talking about how their revenue is growing, or their cash holdings are growing and their revenue is growing. They do have, like, I'm gonna give them credit, man. They are profitable, and they have revenue growth. Which, like, as someone who's been covering this company for 10 years, I don't know the last time I could say both of those things. So yeah. If the stock is trading above 32 by October next year, then this isn't the worst deal ever. But right now, I don't get it. Like, why would I want to exercise my warrants? I don't even have them yet, though. I don't get my warrants until October, right? So maybe the stock will be up by then? This is strange.
Yeah.
That's strange. But yeah, TJ, you're I'll just give you the comparisons here. Actual EPS, it was
So they're receiving a dividend for every 10 shares?
yes. You're receiving a warrant for every 10 shares. Each warrant will entitle the shareholder to buy one share of stock at the exercise price of $32.
Oh, so it's wrapped up in that bullshit. Okay.
Yes.
I prefer to just say warrant because some people are going to be like, wait, am I going to get arrested for owning GameStop? Possibly.
No. Get arrested for shorting it. Okay, so expected EPS was 19 cents. And expected... I want to go back to the results because that dividend is kind of nonsense. Like, let's be honest here, folks. Can I be honest? Can we be honest? Probably not. We're talking GameStop here. So they're up about 5% on their Bitcoin holdings since they bought it. So that's not terrible. They got $2.7 billion from the issuance of that convertible debt. Yeah. Curious if CNBC will even report on this. Doesn't look like it.
Okay, I think I've got all the numbers except for their actual EPS.
I put it in the. I commented the in the thread to your headline.
You sure did. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so people are excited that they actually reported more earnings in one quarter than they did in all of 2024, but like it's about time. Not to pour cold water on this earnings results. These are solid numbers. Shorts have 1 month to find GME's real shares. Okay, people are talking about this like because the thing about a dividend is if you're short this stock, you have to pay the dividend. So you're gonna have to find shares to distribute, or you're gonna have to pay the equivalent of that warrant. And the shorts are, if you believe the Yahoo Finance number, it's at around 15% of shares are shorted, which, you know, it's GameStop, so who knows if that's actually true. It's going to be interesting. Gonna have to watch this stock for the next month. Yeah. It is important to note, though, that this idea that GameStop doesn't have debt anymore is not true. I would like
What's it trading at right now?
It's trading at 24.05 in after hours. I can give you guys a screenshot if you need that. It's in the screenshots channel for you guys. It's moving around still too, Bill. So like that's as of a minute ago, but you know it's jumping all over the place. So let me go back to the balance sheet. So in one
it's
quarter,
trading at $8 less
than the
offer,
than the exercise price of the warrant. Correct.
Right. So I guess the only benefit is if you own the shares now and you don't plan to buy more of them, and then suddenly, you know, like 3 months from now, the share price skyrockets up to $50, you could still buy the shares at like $32.
Correct. It's like giving everybody. It's not a call option because call options would be for 100 shares. This is a warrant, so you can buy for every 10 shares you have, you can buy 1 share at that price, and you have until the end of October 2026. So if the stock goes above 32 between now and October 2026, it's worth doing. And based on the numbers, I mean, it's not terrible. I think we should break this out too. GameStop now has $4.16 billion of long-term debt on the balance sheet.
Okay, I'm done that story. I just got put in the seat. That's a dumb story.
It's stupid, but the shareholders are pretty excited about it. I'm not, but other shareholders are excited about it.
Look, if you did the exact same thing with Nintendo, I'd be like, oh, interesting. Okay. I just don't like GameStop. That's all.
It's not even that, man. It's like if it was. I don't know. It's kind of strange.
I get the purpose of it. It's like, you know what? Like maybe I can't afford to buy more shares now, or I just don't want to. It doesn't make sense right now. And then, the price shoots up to like $50 a share, and you're like, damn, I can buy like X amount of shares at $32 now. Like that, I get it. It makes complete sense.
The thing that's interesting about this is that I think it could cause a run on the stock because the more shares you have by October 3rd, the more warrants you get.
Right.
The more the other side of the trade is going to have to pay out. This is still about a short squeeze. This is actually something I wanted them to do a while ago. It's just I don't like the exercise price. I think it's kind of weird and dumb, but I don't totally hate what's happening here. It's not the worst idea. Because if you're short this stock, Bill, you have to pay that dividend. So it incentivizes the shorts to cover. That's interesting. And like you've seen it before, man. These shareholders, they buy this stock. They like the stock, right? They've diamond handed it for 5 years now. Like, yeah. I own the shares still. Not in every account I manage, but I do own it still in some of my accounts. I own call options in this stock still. So, yeah, let's fucking take this to the moon. Like, I'm with them. Like, because I do think this is like this. They're giving every shareholder like basically 3 weeks to buy more shares to get more warrants. So this can create a run on the stock tomorrow and the next week and the next week. We're going to have to see where it goes from here. I do think I don't like the exercise price of the warrants. I don't like the exercise price, but I think the actual idea of it is not stupid. It creates a risk to being short the stock. That wasn't there yesterday. So that's actually good. But yeah, Nintendo Switch 2 definitely drove hardware sales up. 592 million compared to 451 million a year ago. And their collectibles efforts are working. 227 million in revenue compared to 139 million the previous year.
I will give them that. Their shift into collectibles has been a smart move.
It's actually working. Like, you can hate this company all you want. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. There are a ton of companies to hate. But, like, it's undeniable. This company's making money and they're growing revenue. Why on earth would you short it? This was a company, like, how long have we been reporting on this where they were losing money for years? And I would have to come up with this back of the envelope calculation, like, hey, they have this much runway left in their stock. Like, they don't, that's not the case anymore. They're actually growing. That's impressive. Despite the CEO being a douche nozzle. Yeah, so they backed out the unrealized gain from the digital assets. I'm trying to find this net income number. Okay, so this is where they got the diluted income per share of 31 cents. But then you back it out. Okay, I can do the math for you, TJ. So I can confirm that number, but I'm pretty sure it's accurate.
25 cents?
So it's basically, yeah, the 25 cents. When they back out the extraordinary numbers from the reported net income of 168.6, and then you multiply that by the 31 cents, yeah, it's 25.42. That's right. They just don't make it abundantly clear because they have the gap number, and then you have to back out some of the things to get to this number. Interesting. Congratulations to GameStop, man. They're figuring shit out. A lot of people doubted them.
That exercise thing is just such a strange thing. It's like, if I go into the local construction yard and be like, with a cooler full of bottled water and be like, you can buy a bottle of water for $1, or you can buy a voucher that will let you buy a bottle of water later for $3.
No, TJ. For every 10 bottles of water that you own, I will let you buy another bottle of water for 50% more than I'm willing to sell you a bottle of water right now. That's how confusing it is. But like, it's given them like a line in the sand now. Like, shareholders now know, okay, well, 32, if we get above that, we can make more money. This is going to, like, do you guys not remember what happened last time? Like, are we forgetting what happened in 2021? Like, do I need to pull up that chart? Like, you see this? You see this chart here? See this giant spike that happened in January of 2021? Like, do you think that was rational? Do you think people were, like, taking calculated risks? No. It was a, like, and I loved this moment because it was a unified effort to take down the shorts.
I don't think it's the same, though, because the people who are still in it are not the same necessarily who were interested in it back in the day. Like,
no, but obviously it's a rallying cry to the same people, is my point. What's harder?
I don't think it's going to translate as well. I don't think it's going to be the same.
Okay.
Because I knew people who didn't know anything about stock who just picked up on the story. And
Bill, if this stock is up 50% tomorrow, will you feel different? You should, because it'll be above 32.
Yeah, it'll be above 32, but I don't think it's the same kind of moment, though.
I think it's a moment, though. I think it
Could be.
like what you don't realize is that there are people who are still pissed off that have been holding this whole time, and now they have a price point that they can fixate on, that they can all rally their money around. And I think
there were a lot of casuals who are not still in it, who were only jumping on the news at the time, and I don't think the news stories are going to really carry enough weight to bring in those casuals again.
I would never say never, man, because it's happened twice so far.
I'm not saying never.
Look, like 2021, it went from $4 to $120 in a month, split adjusted. But let's not forget last year in May, when it went from $10 to $64 in a month. Why did that happen? It was the same thing, is my point. It's like, I wouldn't be surprised if something stupid happens again, guys. I'm going to just throw it out there.
I think something stupid could happen again, but I'm talking about I don't see it being the same thing. I don't even see I just don't think, and I'm not talking about like, you're talking like from a very financial aspect of it. I'm talking more from like a news story aspect of it, more of like a moment. I don't think it's going to be the same kind of moment. I think that the financial ramifications could certainly be impactful.
Well, like, I'm talking about a stock that 15% of the float, if you believe Yahoo Finance, more than 1 out of 10 shares is held short still. Mm-hmm. And those people are losing money in after hours. And now they have, like, there is a call to action from the dumbest people on Wall Street to buy this stock. That's all I'm saying. And these people worship Ryan Cohen. Still.
Yeah, I could see it spiking.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not telling people to buy the stock here. I'm just saying that it would not surprise me to see this cause people to run into the stock between now and October 3rd. Just would not surprise me.
I don't disagree with you. I don't think we're talking about the same thing. That's what I think that's.
No, I'm not saying the mother of all short squeezes is here. I'm saying that I would be worried if I was short.
No, what I'm talking about is back when the first time it popped off and it went to 120, there were people that never owned stock that I knew. They've never invested ever, and they bought a share to be part of the moment. I would be shocked if we have that moment again, but I do think that like you could obviously have a moment. I just don't think it's going to be that kind of a moment.
I don't think you need that this time.
No, you probably don't. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, like, in terms of like my initial reaction to like what happened in 2020, I don't think is going to be the same thing. They don't need it. Of course.
What's really interesting, though, Bill, is that in 2020 and 2021, this company was losing money, horribly managed, and had no revenue growth.
Yeah, but you got to go for the underdog, so people don't. It's not.
But now this company is profitable.
Where you could make money.
This company is now profitable, paying a dividend to shareholders, and has revenue growth.
Yep. And now no one's interested. Well, not no.
You see my point?
Yeah, I see it.
Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth? Like,
I see it.
I'm a fundamental analyst. I'm looking at the bones of this company, and I'm telling everyone here right now, this company is better off than they were in 2021 when all the jaboofers ran into the stock. This is a better run company now. That is interesting.
I don't think anybody are there folks that disagree with that? I don't know.
Yes! There's all sorts of people who are, GameStop's going bankrupt still. It's a stupid stock. Don't buy the stock. Okay. Like, why has CNBC not reported on this? If this was a stock that was not the anti-Wall Street stock, why isn't the Wall Street rag, like the news of the street, right? Isn't CNBC like Reuters, CNBC? Aren't those the places to go? Why aren't they even talking about this? That's my point. There's something still going on here. Like, I think this is a very interesting corporate turnaround story. Yeah, it's not a short squeeze that's going to be driven by retail investment. But all it takes is like 1 or 2 actual Wall Street brokerages or firms to pile into this thing. That's the part that I think people are sleeping on. Like, it's an actually profitable company. They're actually turning shit around. Their CEO sucks. Hate the guy. But, like, I can't ignore the results here. Like, these are actual results. And they're doing interesting things with their cash. But, like, yeah, I want us to report on how much debt they have, because that could become a problem down the road. Like, that is $4 billion of debt. And they had to issue convertible debt that also converts at $32 a share, oddly enough. So they want the stock above 32. Can they get the stock above 32? Yeah, I think they can. I do. When? I don't know. But I'm not running into this stock tomorrow. I already own it in the accounts I own it at, and I've just kind of forgotten about it. I don't even look at it. Like, I'm just like, yeah, it's a speculative stock for me. It is not a core holding. Now, for some of these people, it is a core holding. They're taking more risk than me. But, yeah, I
also think there's a lot of people, and I don't want to group everybody in the same group here, but there's a lot of people who are emotionally invested in this.
Yeah.
I think that's a very, 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 very silly thing to do with your money.
No, for sure. But, like, line go up, people happy. I can tell you that, man. Someone who used to manage money for people.
Their emotions, right? Like, and if the line goes down, like if you're emotionally attached, then you stop reading the data.
Or you only look for the positive data.
Right. And that, I think, that's very, very dangerous. If I ever found myself being emotionally invested in a company, I think I would probably peace out of that company, because I'd be like, I'm not going to be able to make a good decision here.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing, because as a stock picker, you become pretty emotional about your picks, because you're not just buying the stock market. I think there's
a better word.
There's a level of agency required.
Yeah.
That I think you become proud of your decision making, and that can lead to emotions.
Part of the issue is people sometimes can't admit to themselves when they're making a decision, like, not emotion, but based on delusion. Like, they don't know. They're not aware of it. They're not self-aware. I think, it requires somebody to be able to say, hey, I don't trust the way that I'm looking at this anymore, or, like, I care too much, or whatever. I'm basing my decisions on hope more than I'm basing it on information. And I just don't think, I think there's a lot of people in GME, not a lot, I don't know how many, but, there's people in GME who are not making their decisions for the right reasons.
Yeah, there's people in Fartcoin.
Yeah.
Like, do you understand the market we're in right now? Like, people are buying Fartcoin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would rather, I'll say this, I'd rather own GameStop than Fartcoin.
That's fair.
I'd rather own GameStop than most cryptocurrency, oddly enough. I'm just looking at these results, and I'm like, they actually made money for a long... what I just think is really interesting is everyone was so confident in 2021. The stock was still shit. The only thing... The difference was the short interest was over 100%. Wall Street was playing this game for years. It was a shell game, and they got caught holding... You know what? That's the difference. And it was a much smaller company. It was less than $1 billion market cap when the grassroots movement happened. Now we're talking about a company over $10 billion. So it's going to require Wall Street, some hedge funds, the barbarians at the gate are going to have to show up now. Because the average investor is not going to be able to cause the squeeze this time. That's the difference. But it doesn't matter. I think they're achieving escape velocity as a company, and that's really damn impressive. That was the risk. I pointed that out as a risk. Countless earnings calls or earnings reports that, hey, if they keep burning cash at this rate, they're gonna run out X amount of quarters from now. And now here's the thing, like, for me, the thing I'm most concerned about, and this is why I don't own this stock in any size, is Ryan Cohen has shown no reason to not dilute you again. Like, he's done it twice, right, in the last 2 years. What's to stop him from doing it again? If you get it above 32, what's to stop Ryan Cohen from fucking you over again? That's the thing that I don't trust. That's the thing that I will never trust that CEO. Because we've had the opportunity to squeeze the shorts multiple times in the last few years. And he dumps shares on the market. That's the problem I have with this company. That's why I sold some of my shares. Because I was like, this fucking guy keeps fucking me over. That's my beef with this company. But I have to look at these results and be impressed. And like, the stock has bounced back in after hours because people are digesting this news. They're starting to understand what this news is. And I think it's starting to hit Wall Street Bets and starting to hit the Super Stonk subreddit. And people are turning around and they're saying, I'm going to buy some shares so I can get more warrants. So I can force shorts to give me more warrants. Yeah, it's undeniably impressive that GameStop has lasted this long. Like, here's two charts. Here's AMC since the bubble of 2021. Look at that. It hit a high of split adjusted 726 and 20 cents. It's currently trading for $2.81. I'm not saying GameStop looks great. It's still down a lot from its all-time high, but it's not down that amount.
Right.
That's the difference. I could pull up several of these. BlackBerry. Or no, that's Bed Bath & Beyond. What was BlackBerry's? Was it RIM? What the hell is BlackBerry's stock chart?
Oh, yeah.
BB. Look at BB. Same time period. It was $14.28. It's trading for $3.75 now. There are countless.
They were still around.
Countless stocks. Oh, Steve Jobs kneecapped this company entirely.
Aren't they Canadian?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They used to go by Research in Motion, but now they're just BlackBerry.
There's a bunch of interesting. I used to work with a bunch of people who in a call center, and I knew no less than 10 people who quit and moved to the headquarters where BlackBerry is located to work for them. And I'm just wondering, 15 years later, I wonder how that's going.
Not great. Can't be going great. I'll tell you that much.
I'm very excited for this opportunity for this groundbreaking company.
But yeah, I'm telling you, man, by the end of the day tomorrow, this thing could be above 32. It sounds crazy, but I've seen crazy shit happen in this stock before. And yeah, we're sitting near the highs of the after-hour session now. I think people have started to get the idea. I'm telling you, man, this is a rallying cry for a certain type of investor.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And as a turd miner, I appreciate it.
I would never argue I would never argue you financially, ever. I was just responding to the moment because I just remember watching people react to the moment, watching news react to the moment and stuff like that. And I feel, and I don't think it's necessarily right, but I feel like, the media coverage is just not going to be there for something like this. Whereas, unless it gives it a reason to, but
you got to ask yourself,
back then, really
why isn't this a story? Why isn't this turnaround a story?
I think there's a lot of moving parts to that. There's obviously certain reasons that certain publications aren't covering it as a story. They don't want to,
Yeah, because the people who pay for their ads are short.
Sure. No, I agree.
But
then there's the the random news outlet that has nothing to do with it, that just follows trends, right? Like, unless it pops off, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I guess I've made most of my money buying stocks when they're not on the front page of every news outlet.
Yeah.
By the time my shit shows up on CNBC, I get worried about that. But I think
really smart.
I think that there's something. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But like I said, my cautionary tale here is that Ryan Cohen has shown me no reason to think he won't fuck me again.
Right.
That's why I'm not like happier days are here again. That's why I'm not running to get logged into E-Trade to buy more shares. I could do that right now. If I really felt strongly about this, I could do that right now. I'm not. Because it's like, I already own some shares at a lower price than this. And I have evidence that he's going to fuck me. So I don't want to get fucked by Ryan Cohen again.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like, that's where I'm at. But just from like someone I've followed this company for so fucking long. This is one of the best quarters I've seen them turn in like 15 years. Ignoring the special dividend. The actual results here are impressive. TJ and I have been looking at the collectibles revenue at this company for years. It's like finally happening. And it's undeniable. You see it on their social. You see people talking about it. Like the Pokemon card availability, the grading of cards, like the stuff that they're doing on the collectible front is working. And then they also have the Nintendo Switch 2 Tailwind, which is a legit thing.
They prioritized card collecting and collectibles at a time when like that stuff is taking off even greater than it ever has before. Because it's not just Pokemon; it's also Magic the Gathering doing those
Lorcana
every like season.
Yeah,
Lorcana, which like Greg has been doing streams of that for a while, and people really seem to dig that. I had no idea what Lorcana was until like Greg started doing those streams.
Yeah,
and now I like see it everywhere.
Yeah, like collectible cards have come back in a big way. And we've even reported on the Nintendo earnings. Like they used to break out their card revenue. Now it's like part of their IP division, but like even Nintendo is reinvesting in that space. You look at what they just did with the Superstar Company, that subsidiary that does the Kirby merch. Like video games are still growing. Like there's video games as an entertainment medium is still growing, and this is like the last dedicated video game retailer on earth. So I think there's a lot of the time, and I've been in a lot of what do they call those spaces with GameStop shareholders in the past. And I told them, like, if you have an investment thesis, give your thesis enough time to play out, or else you're going to fail. The thesis is playing out in GameStop. My thesis played out in Nintendo. I'm seeing it right now. With the Mario movie, all these different things. Right? Like, I've seen it play out in Tesla before. Like, when your investment thesis actually starts to play out, hold on for dear life. Because by the time those mainstream outlets and Kotaku start writing about it, no offense, Kotaku, but you only write about GameStop when it's trending. And I offered to talk to you guys about it to help your reporting. But by the time it comes mainstream, it's maybe too late to buy the shares. So after hours right now, seeing this recovery, that big ass bar, TJ, like when we were both like, whoa, it went from 22.20 down to 23.11, and that was in 1 minute. It's still inside of that range now, but it is slowly crawling back up to the highs.
Yeah, one thing that like I honestly expected more out of it, but it doesn't feel like we've seen like it hasn't been a substantial thing since they really announced it. I expected GameStop to be able to do more with like the computer part section that they were setting up a while back.
Yeah. It's just the margins on that stuff suck, and they probably also got hit by the tariff stuff.
That's fair.
You know, so they've pivoted to maybe this Pokemon card stuff instead, and the other collectibles. But yeah, I do agree. Like the used iPhone stuff, like yeah, there's an opportunity there. Um, they're also letting their expensive leases go away, so they're still closing non-performing stores or underperforming stores. Like that's a 4-year story. Like it's the boring part of this story, right? Like this is not the exciting part. This is the very boring part. But for someone who's been in it for a long time, this is very interesting news today. I didn't.
I gotta
Yeah.
gotta duck out and run
Yeah.
get my cat's meds.
Yeah, no problem. I also got to get out of here soon. But I wasn't expecting to do an hour-long stream for this, but there ended up it's ended up being more information than I thought we were going to get. Oddly enough.
Yeah.
You know, this is a surprise that this yeah, I want to see if their SEC filing is out. It is.
All right, I'm gonna drop out, guys.
Later, Bill.
Later.
Let's see. I want to see if we can find the DRS number. $66.7 is how many DRS shares there are. Q1 2025 DRS. That's down. I can at least get that headline ready. $66.7. As of September 5th. Sorry, we got 2 more stories here. That's about 15% of the stock is held directly registered. Interesting. Well, I think that's about it, though, for the stream. I don't have a whole lot else to say about this. The big news, definitely GameStop announcing the special dividend. Definitely confusing. The exercise price is not great on that. Cash above 8.7 billion, debt above 4 billion. Bitcoin, they made about 5% since they bought it. Growth in both hardware and collectibles revenue. Best earnings that they've placed. Best earnings I've seen since the short squeeze of 2021.
Yep.
So yeah, a lot of positive news for GameStop shareholders. I don't think we've been able to say that very often.
Well, usually Ryan Cohen is there to mess something up.
Yeah, and also just kind of be a shithead in general. Like, he's not a good person. I don't like him.
Yeah.
I'm not cheering for his success or anything. But I'm also able to look at a company objectively. Like, And this is the best quarter they've reported in a very long time. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
maybe 10 years. That's kind of wild. Uh, but yeah. No earnings call. This would have been a good time to have a question and answer with the CEO. Like, you know? Why? Why 32? That would have been my question. Why 32? What are you going to do to us when it gets to 32? You know? But yeah, if you're still long this stock, congratulations. It takes a lot of intestinal fortitude to hold a stock like this through all of the bullshit. So I appreciate the spirit of the turd miner in all of you. And yeah, I did hold on to a little bit, and I bought some idiot insurance in the form of calls. But I am also not as long as I was in the past, but I don't really care. I've done okay in some other stocks. This little company called Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll see. You know, we'll see if we can get above this where they diluted the shareholders last time, right? Because that will be a catalyst for further upside. But you do just for folks at home, you do have a buy signal in effect right now above 23.73 per share. It's an outside week to the upside on the chart. So we are well above that right now in after hours. Probably will open above that tomorrow. As always, manage your risk. If you like this, give us a follow on Twitch, or if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, like, follow, and subscribe. We appreciate it. But that's gonna do it. Thanks for joining me for this, TJ, and shout out to Bill for jumping in here for a little bit also. And yeah, we'll see you next time when another company reports, or probably, I don't think we have a whole lot of companies reporting between now and the end of the month. So just a reminder to the folks who are Game Trader viewers, the next Game Trader Live will be on Tuesday, September 30th. And man, I hope there's not an Apple event the same day. There probably won't be. But yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Manage your risk as always. Bye-bye.
Later.